Once the city used to pulse with energy, dirty and dangerous, but alive and wonderful. Now, it's something else. The changes came slowly at first. Most didn't realize, or didn't care, and accepted them. They chose a comfortable life. Some didn't. And those who refused to conform were pushed to the sidelines, criminalized. They became our clients. We call ourselves runners. We exist on the edge, between the gloss and the reality. The mirror's edge. We keep out of trouble. Once the city used to pulse with energy, dirty and dangerous, but alive and wonderful. Now, it's something else. The changes came slowly at first. Most didn't realize, or didn't care, and accepted them. They chose a comfortable life. Some didn't. And those who refused to conform were pushed to the sidelines, criminalized. They became our clients. We call ourselves runners. We exist on the edge, between the gloss and the reality. The mirror's edge. We keep out of trouble, out of sight, and the cops don't bother us. Runners see the city in a different way. We see the flow. Rooftops become pathways and conduits, possibilities, and routes of escape. The flow is what keeps us running, keeps us alive.
Training time, Faith. Yeah, I know you hate it, but that fall took you out of commission for a while. Now you're back, you gotta keep sharp, especially in this city. Check out these new training grounds, pretty slick, huh? Celeste's on runaround duty, so get to her and just go with the flow, okay? There she is. Get after her.
Traitor!
Hi, Faith. Welcome back. Didn't think we'd be seeing you so soon.
Can I just jump straight out onto the platform? No. Oh well. I got so close in my last run, all the way past Chapter 8, dying basically like maybe at the end of the first, almost halfway through Chapter 9. Oh well. I feel better about Chapter 9 having done that, but, you know, I don't know, we'll see what happens. But, it is sort of annoying in games when the last chapter is the hardest. I mean, you know, it sort of makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, why? I would like to finish up this run sometime this week, so before next weekend, or you know, next weekend at the latest.
You know how he is. You ready? Okay, come on. All right, Faith. Let's run through some weapon disarms, just in case.
I'll only use that one a couple times when the timing like works out for me. What? I didn't shoot her. I shot next to her. I was like over here. Yeah, okay. So, okay, apparently blowing out Faith's eardrum, Celeste's eardrums is like not good. So, we'll work on that. Sorry about that. Alright, we'll just restart.
Once the city used to pulse with energy. Dirty and dangerous, but alive.
I am gonna compromise a little bit by watching something on my headphones. I can't really see chat anyway, so I'm not too concerned about like missing out on massive chat because I haven't had anyone viewing the videos. So this is more for my enjoyment anyway.
A comfortable life.
Oh well.
Some didn't. And those who refused to conform were pushed to the sidelines, criminalized. They became our clients.
Let me see if the new episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier is out. I don't think it is. I think it comes out next Friday.
Between the gloss and the reality, the mirror's edge. We keep out of trouble.
Yeah, it's only 2.
Out of sight.
Yeah.
And the cops don't bother us.
Last episode was really fun though.
Runners see the city in a different way. We see the flow. Rooftops become pathways and conduits, possibilities, and routes to escape. The flow is what keeps us running, keeps us alive.
Training time, Faith. Yeah, I know you hate it, but that fall took you out of commission for a while. And now you're back, you gotta keep sharp, especially in this city. Check out these new training grounds, pretty slick, huh? Celeste's on runaround duty, so get to her and just go with the flow, okay? There she is. Get after her.
Hi, Faith. Welcome back. Didn't think we'd be seeing you so soon.
I'm trying to think of a good thing to watch. I don't know where I can watch like old disaster movies. I sort of like that sort of thing. I don't know. Just something I can sort of turn my brain off of and like listen to while paying attention to like what's going on in the video game. Because so much of this game requires like minimal attention, honestly.
Merc wants me to run you through some sparring. You know how he is. You ready? Okay, come on. All right, Faith. Let's run through some weapon disarms, just in case.
Remember what I taught you, Faith. Isolate them. Fight them one at a time if you gotta fight.
Yeah, I'll never use reaction time.
Okay, that's enough training, ladies. Gotta get to the real thing. Drake's got a job for yourself, so check in with him. Faith, let me know when you're ready to get going.
See you later, Faith.
You know what? I'm gonna watch or rewatch episode 1 of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I'm sure the birds are real impressed, Faith. But once you finish showing off, I think you might concentrate on some actual work.
See if I get into it. If I'm into it, then I'll rewatch the whole show.
You need to get the delivery to her. She'll be near the communications tower.
It's probably the best show ever made. My favorite TV show of all time, certainly.
You're taking your sweet old time, Celeste's getting pissed. She's almost at the comms tower and you ain't. Get moving and give her the bag. Cell will take it from there.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Wires are fizzing about you, Faith. Sounds like some blues are headed your way. News chopper tipped them off.
The majority of polls have put Callahan in the lead, with Monroe and Doylan in the suspect on second.
Hey, drop the bag and put your hands where we can see them, or we will...
Just get the hell out of there. Wires are going crazy. Get out of there, Faith. I'm patching Celeste in. You there, Cell?
What the hell's happening? I can hear gunshots and that bird seems a little too curious.
Faith's on her way. Get your ass ready to move. Blue's ahead. You're gonna have to get through 'em.
Okay. I was not accurate there.
You ready, Cell?
Yep, I can see Faith now.
thought I'd hit that so much better.
Get to Celeste. There are more blues on the way.
Come on, Faith. CPF on you, Tao. Hey, throw me the bag. Okay, I got it from here.
Okay, they're playing rough cell.
I'll be fine. Shit, get out of here.
You gotta get off that roof, Faith. Don't care how you do it, just do it.
Let's go. Yeah, there's not too much deepness to this game. We're living in an authoritarian dystopia where everything looks
Nothing.
amazing,
They just opened fire.
and it seems like the best society
What the
to
hell
live
happened?
in, like, ever.
I'll ask around. Get your ass back to base, Faith.
You're like fighting. You're like a rebel on the run from the authorities. But the worst thing you've done, aside from the serial killing you do in the game, is just run around delivering bags. The characters, you get about like a minute with each of them. The only person you care about is Faith, and there's never any motivation that directly influences her. Like there's never any like direct threat to her, as Celeste herself mentions in chapter 5 or something. She could just leave if she wanted at any moment. She could just walk away and it wouldn't matter, right?
Gonna put the word out tomorrow.
So you never feel like you always feel like it's you making the intentional choice to keep going. You feel sort of bad for the fact that her sister is in trouble, but you never like have a relationship with your sister. The viewer doesn't. So it's like, I feel bad for my main character that her sister's in trouble,
Kate!
but I don't care about the sister herself. The only like actual like emotional character moment in the entire game is when Merc dies at the end of chapter 8, and you're like, okay, this one actually like I'm actually mad now. For the first time, I'm actually like more than just mildly annoyed at the dystopian authority.
Almost there.
Well, anytime you'd like to tell me where there is and what the hell you're doing, feel free.
It's my sister.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can figure out what's
Except
going
by
on.
that
Give me a
point,
second.
it's like you've gunned down so many of their private security officials that you're not surprised they broke out all the stops to take you out. Like,
Okay, Drake says there's been some heat on West Arland. Pope's place. I guess that's where you're headed, but be careful. I'll tell him what's going on there. You know he was running for mayor, right? Finally, someone who could actually make a difference in this place.
Thinking of taking the kids to the New Eden Mall this weekend? Then you need to stop by the Taste of New Eden restaurant for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or even just a snack. The Taste of New Eden. It's a little bit of paradise.
Kate?
What are you doing here?
What happened? Did you...
it's like
No.
in chapter
You don't
8 or
recognize
somewhere, you see
Should
an
I?
elevator screen where it's like,
Robert Pope?
yeah,
friend
it's
of
like the
Dad's?
city has gone on red alert because of
He
like
called me.
terrorist
We hadn't
incidents,
talked much since I
terror
joined
threats.
up. He had a
And
break-in
in a
last
lot
week.
of like
still a campaigner.
dystopia rebel stories,
Don't you read
you'd be
the
like,
news?
oh,
It's not
they're just
news
spreading
anymore.
propaganda
It's
to try to
advertising.
like
He was running for mayor.
scare
So
people
the break-in must have
unnecessarily.
really spooked
But
him then.
in the context of
That's
this
what I
game,
thought. But
by
it was
that
odd.
point,
He
you
told me
have
about the break-in.
like
asked me to
destroyed
come,
a police
then asked
convoy.
after you.
You've
I haven't seen
gunned
him for at
down
least
like
10 years.
30 to
Anyway,
40
he
private
was alive
security
when I got
guys,
here, just sitting at his desk,
making you a
writing.
serial killer by
Everything
any
went black.
definition.
When I came to, he'd been shot. And I'm pretty
You've,
sure it's with my gun.
like,
There was a
you
book on
are
the
a
desk,
major
a
suspect in
diary.
the assassination
It
of
was
a
gone.
mayoral
I'm
candidate.
sure there was someone else in the building. Left my radio in the car. Haven't
Like-
had time to phone it in.
Like,
Come on,
yeah, lock
come
the
with
city
me.
down.
I'll take
You
you
know,
somewhere
things are
This
bad.
isn't the time to run. I'm not like you. Running will just make me look guilty.
You think this was an accident, Kate? There are no
So I don't
accidents
know.
in this city.
The more I played the game, the more I
I'm
recognize
dead
that the
and
story is
wanted
pretty
you to
shallow.
take the
So,
fall.
Help me,
you know,
Effie, please.
but
You've
the
got
running's fun, and
contacts.
that's like what the
There's
game's
gotta
actually
be more
about.
to this. Something he knew. Something he wanted to tell me.
I can't get involved in this, Kate. You know what I do. I just can't.
Blue's incoming, Faith. You might want to be outgoing right about, now.
I'll see what I can do.
If this goes down badly, find Lieutenant Miller, my superior. Take anything you find to him.
I'm serious, Faith. Remember, they're not playing nice. Get out of there.
Now go! And Faith, thank you. Shit!
Get out of that building, Faith. Move. SWAT's swarming on you, Faith. Find a way out of there. Should be an exit through the accounting offices.
Okay. Up, turn, no. Up, turn. Okay, yeah, because it's... I'll try it a different way next time. But...
That bird ain't playing around. Get your ass to the CEC News building. I'm finding you a way out.
Oh, are you kidding me? My headphones are almost out of battery.
You're too exposed, Faith. It'll pick you off. Get inside. Find some cover. Yeah, you can breathe out. Damn, what a mess. Can't believe Pope's gone. Shit, man, this damn city. So you know him, huh? Well, you sure opened a can of worms on this one. Take the bridge across the avenue and head for Centurion Plaza. Picking up squad cars moving in on you. You ain't got much time. They're trying to surround you, Faith. Punch through to the plaza.
So I gotta charge up my headset after this.
You gotta push through to the plaza, Faith. There's a route through the tunnels ahead. Get some air in your lungs and run, Faith. You don't want to know what's behind you, Faith. Just keep running. Should be an exit off the rail overpass in the plaza ahead. Creek heads to the other side to get down. Blue's up ahead, kiddo. One at a
Back
time,
right.
remember.
Back left.
Head up onto the rail overpass. It's the only way through. You've almost lost him. Patching Krieg in. Faith, let's get you out of here.
You okay? Come on.
You did good, Faith.
Might as well do a
No
sound
word on
test.
what's got the
while
Blue so trigger happy, but I'll keep on it. And, don't worry about your sis, okay? We'll fix it.
What the hell, Merc?
Something's got somebody rattled, kiddo. I don't know what it is, but they're mighty jittery.
Testing, testing, testing.
Hey, Sal.
Testing, testing, testing.
Take long to lose him?
Nah, those blues can't live for shit. They've got me gun happy though.
Wires are fizzing about Pope's murder. Blue traffic is up. Way up. Don't know what's got into them. Must be contract renewal time. Be careful out there, Sal.
So why all the heat?
Our girl's been lifting evidence from a crime scene. Now every cop in the city seems to be after her.
That the evidence you lifted?
Yeah, I think it's from a diary. Rest of it was gone. All I can make out are Icarus, maybe, and to the highest.
Icarus. Wasn't he the Greek guy?
Yeah, his dad made him some wings out of feathers and wax. Then the boy flew too close to the sun. No more wings, no more Icarus. If anyone's heard anything, then you know who it'll be, Faith.
Yeah?
I know he ain't a runner anymore, but he's got contacts. You can't avoid him forever.
Wanna bet?
Who?
Jackknife.
Drake's got a location on Jackknife. He's on some rooftops of the old runner training ground near the storm drains. Route's crawling with Blues, though.
City authorities
You can
are
follow the
investigating
canals to the
death of
Hampton Town
attorney and
district.
mayoral candidate
Get
Robert
going.
Pope, who was found shot dead in his office. CPF have one suspect in custody and are currently searching for another.
Chopper spotted. Make a run for it.
Here. Perfect. So when you go along, Gonna track left. What we're doing is we're making sure the sniper doesn't get a bead on us by going front. Now, back there. Push up on him.
Get out of those canal spaces. Nathan's access point nearby. I'll find you a new route.
Perfect. Sniper didn't get off a single shot. That's exactly what we wanted.
into the storm drains.
Oh, that's a little intense. Yeah, just jumping straight out is the best way to handle
Bird's
everything
bugging out.
else
Looks
until
like
you
you're
get
in
to
the
the
clear.
bottom.
Now get into those drains.
Nice. Got a second here, so I want to test this jump out. Yeah, that's not going to do it. I was seeing if maybe that's a bit faster, but it doesn't look like it.
Got some drain plans. Should be an exit on the other side.
I'm trying to think if this game has a theme behind it, right? All stories have a theme. This one just does all of, like, I don't know, there's not much new or interesting to the game. You know, and it can't really decide what it is. It's not sure what the stakes should be, I think.
Keep going.
As it
Don't
goes
think those
throughout.
clues won't come down here.
Because on one hand you have this mayoral, and in the end all of the
Something on
stakes
the wire.
feel like
Shit.
unfulfilled.
Looks like they anticipated
You know?
you might duck in here and send a sniper team ahead.
You never get Callahan, who is like the main story behind the Robert Hope assassination. You never like deal a decisive blow against the government dystopia in any form. You rescue your sister, again, temporarily, but you haven't done anything to clear her name, so to speak. Right? So she's still in
Take those
just as much
snipers out
trouble
or
as she
keep out
was
of their way.
before.
Just get your ass through there.
Okay, I'm not sure what I got hung up on there. Whatever. You kill Jackknife, who was at best a peripheral antagonist. And you never really develop an emotional, like, reason to hate him. He's annoying, and you meet him a couple times in the game, but he always gives you the information you're looking for. So it's like in the end he's like, I was really the bad guy all along. It's like, okay, you know, there's nothing like interesting about it. Celeste being a traitor is sort of interesting, but then they never do anything with it. She just like gets away, and that's the last time you see her. I don't know. I really feel like the point of this game, everything about it is just the parkour and just the gameplay. And everything else is just to justify the existence of that. And so they didn't really have, I don't think, a really amazing plan for the story or the plot or the characters. It was just, how do we create a story that'll allow us to run around the city jumping on things? Which is fine, you know, not every game needs to be like a grand story, cinematic, whatever, but... At the same time, you know, it's like... I don't know. I think it is a little bit hopefully catalyst.
This is Hammond, down access. You're
some reason, this platform likes to push you off to the right, so I gotta keep tracking to the left a little bit. Alright. Now, this is by far not the fastest way to do this, but it is the most consistent. Super slow, but hyper consistent, which is the point.
Look, Jackknife may know something about Pope's murder, so don't let him wind you up, okay? He used to be a pretty decent runner. God knows who he's working for now.
You know, I think they could have resolved a bunch of the problems in the game. Like, in terms of the story, I actually think the story could be really improved by just making a super simple change. Everything else stays the same. The change is just... It's literally just swapping Jackknife and Celeste. And I don't mean in any of the conversations they have up until the last... I mean only basically swap their placement in the last conversation you have with them. So everything takes place the same, except in Chapter 7, when you get to the guy on the boat, it's Jackknife. And he's the traitor. So the idea is Jackknife is it's Jackknife who's the assassin. You hunt him down, and so you're like Jackknife. You're like, things are all coming together, right? And you track him down and, you know, actually kill him, right? Which they're clearly willing to do, since Ropeburn got killed. And in that same, like, cutscene where Celeste gets away, she, like, explodes the entire dock, taking out, like 10 mercenaries all at once.
Damn.
And so then at the end, you could, you know, do some other cutscenes as well, but then at the end, the big bad is actually Celeste, who turns out to be working with, like, Mayor Callahan to take out the runners and all that stuff, right? And I'm not exactly sure what motivation Celeste would have. You could just make it money if you want to be really boring. But I think that the final reveal would work so much better with Celeste being, like, the big bad at the end, rather than Jackknife. Because Jackknife, he's the guy at the end, I'm like, okay, I don't really care. I never was mad at him, right? Whereas if you find out in Celeste, you're like, oh man, I had this, like, personal relationship with Celeste. She betrayed me. Terrible. Right? Where it's with Jackknife, you're like, oh, you were scum all along. Like, of course he was. The game kept telling you. Like, every single time, like, Faith mentioned Jackknife, she was like, yeah, that guy's a jerk. He's terrible. And then it's like, at the end of the game, surprise, he actually is a jerk, and he is terrible. And you're like,
I know what you're here for, Faithy.
You know?
Just tell me what Icarus has to do
Okay.
with Pope's murder, Jack.
I heard a cop did it.
You heard wrong.
You a fan of wrestling, Faith? Pope was a wrestling fan. He even employed an ex-wrestler to handle his security. Travis Burfield used to go by the name of Ropeburn.
Is this going somewhere?
Ropeburn? Well, he's really just a thug who got lucky. And sometimes people are too ignorant to see their place. Always want to swim in the big pond. Never see the bigger fish. If I were you, I'd start with that glorified slab of meat. Happy hunting, Faithy.
Listen, I don't know about going to Ropeburn straight away.
I'm not. I'm gonna see Miller.
Oh, Faith, what are you doing? You gonna tell him about Jackknife?
Not yet. He's still a cop. No matter what Kate says.
You see him?
Yeah. He's heading for his car.
Lieutenant Miller? I'm Faith. Kate's sister?
She never mentioned a sister.
Hell, we're not the mentioning kind. She told me to find you if things went bad.
She's been arrested. And you wouldn't be the suspect seen fleeing from the crime scene, would you?
Well now, it's difficult to recall with a gun in my face.
I know what you are.
You know it was a setup, right?
I know Kate wouldn't be capable of something like this. But my captain's asking some difficult questions, and I can't even get in to see her.
You know something crazy?
About something called Icarus.
In the bio information on Faith, which you can see later on in the Pierre and Della Kruger security room, she's 5'9". She is not short. So that means Miller is just, like, huge. He's got to be he's probably 6'1", 6'2". Okay, well, I guess that's not crazy. I'm like 6'1". Well, I'm like 6 and a half to 1. I'm not sure what you call that.
There are plenty of people who'll try, and I can't stop them. You better learn how to run.
Running is what I do best.
I actually sort of appreciate that they made her, you know... Well, the issue is, like, the taller you are, the better you're at climbing. Just because the reach is better. Like, you know, the longer... It's like the longer your arms are, the longer your legs are, the better you're able to pull yourself up buildings and stuff. So climbers tend to be, like, generally tall.
I saw Ropeburn wrestle once. Broke some poor bastard's arm, then headbutted the ref.
I don't know. Obviously I'm no parkour expert, so it's possible that doesn't translate to parkour at all. But I tend to think that there's a lot of climbing involved in this game, so it probably transfers at least like a little bit. All right, let's see if I can run around and jump out. Oh, really? I could have saved so much time that way. Whatever. There's a scene in chapter 4 where Faith has to pull up. Faith has to pull up Ropeburn, who's probably like 300 pounds, and that one is a little like, okay, that's like really, you know. I wouldn't like. Yeah, like come on, that's an insane amount of weight to pull from like super low position. Like, I don't know, if you've ever seen Batman Begins, you know, and where like Bruce Wayne and Ra's are sliding down this like ice wall towards a cliff, and Ra's goes over the edge and like Bruce Wayne grabs him with one arm, and then just like arm pulls him up in like a beastly way. Ra's probably only weighs like, I don't know, 200, 225. 225 maybe we'll call it, but like that in and of itself is like crazy. I don't even think like Batman could lift, like it would be tough for even like Batman to lift Ropeburn in the position he's in chapter 4, and Faith is like 125 pounds. So I don't know, I think she knew that. I think she was just messing with Ropeburn, you know. Like, Roperburn's like, alright, now pull me up. And Faith's like, I can't pull you up. You crazy? There's no way.
You know that?
You know, pull yourself up.
I don't know what I facilitate things. And I got more folks watching me than just you.
Although Ropeburn is, like, hanging on himself, so maybe he could, like, pull himself up with one hand while the other hand, like, grabs Faith and tries to, I don't know.
It don't look good for you. Take that up and down. In a few days, it'll all be over.
At the end of this chapter is when I'll restart Breaking Bad, so I'll be talking
that run won't last long.
But yeah, I don't like, besides Faith, just because of I'm playing her, I don't really feel any personal relationship to any of these characters or connection. Whereas like when I was playing with Cal, it was like I knew tons about all the characters. I didn't want any of the characters to get hurt because Cal forms like tight bonds with them over the course of the game.
All quiet once you get above street level. See you there. And don't bring any of your friends. We good?
Whereas when they introduce Faith, you just have to assume that those bonds are already in place with all the rest of the supporting cast.
Don't hold up itself, you know.
The only one who you like really have a decent bit of character interaction with is Merc in your ear the whole game. Which is why when he dies, it's like an actual blow. You actually are annoyed, you know?
So, Ropeburn did know
You're like,
something,
oh,
huh?
well, not annoyed. You're like, okay, now I'm angry.
Get back here and we'll find a way
I
to
shall
make you an
avenge you,
uninvited
Merc.
guest. Hey, look, Sean.
And honestly, in chapter 9, I'm more like motivated to avenge Merc than I am to save my
Ass
sister.
out now.
Okay. Whatever. Thank you.
More blues, head for the roof. Don't forget, you're public enemy number 1, Faith. To those guys, you've got jail tickets written all over you. Don't stop. You ain't shaking them yet.
Generally, I think if you got actually hit with a flashbang, it would definitely interrupt your running. But it's a beast. You can dig it. Flashbang to the eyes. Just like, don't even bother me. Just keep running. Nice loading screen here, guys.
Shit! Lost her!
You can always tell where the loading screens are because they have them disguised as like elevators, or in that case,
Drake's got a hideout up ahead. Head for
the
the
elevator
crates and I'll
door
update
taking
you
a
when
long
you get
time to
closer.
open, stuff like that.
Watch it, Faith. The Blues have a chopper incoming.
I should try to find a better way to get up over that. I mean, this is still like very fast, but maybe when I work on my speedruns and start like practicing, because instead of just playing the whole game through, I'll be practicing a couple of the levels with the speedruns first. So maybe I'll like take a stab at one of the individual levels where I'll just try some new stuff, see if I can make it work.
Watch your Blues up ahead. Looks like you're gonna have to fight.
Alright, I'll wait here. I'm waiting for this guy. Nice. Not sure how much ammo I have.
That's the last one.
Alright, that's
Go.
fine. The ammo is the big thing because you don't want to run out of ammo in a bad position because then it's like, okay, you need a few seconds to like discard your gun, and then you need a few seconds to like figure out where you are and actually go get the other gun, right? And if it's like ways away, then by that point your health can be real bad. So you always want to like have a decent head count of how much ammo you have. Because the other thing is with the ammo is you can't see any of it. There's no way to know how much ammo you have without just knowing in your head, right? So.
Should be some cover ahead from scaffolding. Try and lose some of the heat there.
Alright, we're gonna slide off of that. A little slow because of that, how that slide went, but I'm not losing too much time here. Oh, okay. I didn't actually expect to get hit by the helicopter there. Thankfully, I have a pretty decent reaction.
Chopper's got a call from its mom. It's bugging out. Not for long, I'll bet.
Alright, all that's left is the crane jump. It is possible, sort of wonkily, to get hung up on them. And of course, the security guard nailed the Hawkeye that he is. I love that these guys like miss shotgun blasts like 10 feet away directly in front of me, and then just out the corner of their eye they can like take me out of, you know, like they're suddenly snipers. It's so random. Oh, I'm done. I hit the roll button instead of the jump. I was already thinking about the roll that I wanted to do. I'll finish out the level and practice it. So dumb. I was still thinking about this roll, I think, and then instead of jumping at the end of this, I hit roll again, and so the slide ended up being short. Alright. I'm just done for today. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm done for today. See you tomorrow.